It was just confirmed that there's a new takeover that's going to be added in NBA 2K24. If you guys haven't been on Twitter lately, Mike Wang, the head gameplay developer for 2K, has been going on a rampage, dropping a bunch of gems about 2K24. We have so much to get into about the new gameplay features on NBA 2K24. Before I tell you guys about the brand new takeover that they're adding, make sure that you are subbed up. We're on the road to 700K. I would appreciate it if you could sub up, turn on my noties. Well, let's get into it. So most of these tweets are going to be by Mike Wang, but let's start off with Uncle Demi, who is very locked in with 2K. He tested up the game and all that. He put out a tweet just to elaborate on this. Takeovers will be finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense/rebounding, and physicals. Yeah, physicals will now be a takeover also. So that is huge news because, as you guys know, we've always had finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense as our takeovers, but now there's a fifth brand new takeover for physicals. So this is going to be speed, excel, vertical, strength, and stamina. I low-key think this takeover might be the best one. It might be game breaking because, bro, think about it. If you get an increase to your speed, excel, I mean, I feel like those are kind of the main ones. Maybe vertical is important too, but let's say you have like a 90 speed on your build and you get takeover, bro, you're gonna be going so fast. Like, I feel like the physicals takeover might be the meta. And guys, this is huge. Uncle Demi goes on to say you can pick any takeover in game. This is dope because it's situational now and there's strategies involved in selecting a takeover. So guys, you will not be selecting your takeover while making your build this year. Now that is not in the builder at all, and while you're in game, a bar is going to fill up and there will be an in-game menu that allows you to choose which takeover you want. Mike Wang dropped a bunch of tweets on this takeover topic, so let's get into it. He said the rating boost you get with a takeover selection just stacks on top of what you already have. If you have dog rebounding ratings, for example, selecting a defense/rebounding take will make you a little less of a bum on the boards, but you'll still kind of be a bum. So basically, you could pick whichever take you want, but if you are not a good rebounding build, then picking the rebounding takeover is really not going to do anything for you. Like, it's not going to turn you into a, superstar rebounder. Or let's say you got a 25 3-point rating and you pick sharp take, like, it's not going to turn you into Steph Curry. It's still going to, be pretty bad for you. This is pretty important right here because we usually don't get numbers on stuff like this, but one guy asked him and said, will there be any confirmation on the exact increase in attributes when the takeover bar is full and when it is activated? And Mike Wang said 10-point boost, but not set in stone. We'll evaluate based on feedback. So that is very important. When you have takeovers, say sharp take, your 3-point will be raised by 10 attributes. So that's actually a lot. I feel like it's been maybe lower in years past. Now we know the exact number. Takeovers boost your stats by 10 attributes. Jesus Christ. Next up, my guy Zach 2K asks Mike Wang, do ratings exceed the 99 cap in takeover on NBA 2K24? And Mike Wang said yes, takeover can temporarily boost your rating over 99 and it will make a difference. So this has been the whole theory or conversation on 2K. If you already have a 99.3, for example, and you get takeover, does it exceed at 99? Because we've never seen a stat go over 99, but apparently Mike Wang is confirming yes, you will have, say, a 109 3-point rating if you already had a 99 3-point rating before you got takeover. Before we jump into the next pieces of news, let me tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy. I've been doing a ton of drafts on here. Like, you guys can see, there's fantasy football drafts. That's what Underdog is mainly for. Like, look at this. 15 million in prizes, and it's only $25 to draft the team. I mean, that's a decent amount, but for 15 million, you guys already know. Like, let me go to completed. Look at this. For the best ball mania, I already have 10 entries. So I know I'm a sweat. I'm hella into sports like that. Maybe you're not this into sports, but if y'all want to draft some teams, make sure to get on here because the NFL season is about to start, and also the NBA season. You guys see here our double dribble tournament for 500K in prizes, $10 entry. Y'all can see right here, I have 3 teams already drafted. You guys could pause the video if you guys want to see my exact teams. Let me know in the comments, which team do you like the most? And remember, this is fantasy basketball, not real life. Also, of course, you guys know we go crazy on the pickups. If you guys want to sign up, use code SOLO. It'll double your first deposit up to $100. Tweet at me if you use my code. I got you with a follow back, and I'll add you to my Underdog group chat. But let's get into this news. Next up, we got something that genuinely made me laugh multiple times whenever I saw this tweet. Mike Wang tweeted another cool NBA 2K24 new gen edition for my players. You can equip triple threat and dribble emotes this year and fire them off with D-pad down. So this is very interesting because imagine you cook somebody and they're on the ground and or let's say you hit them with this emote, like, bro, people are gonna be pissed. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of other emotes you can do. I think what makes this so funny is because it is Mike Wang scanned into the game doing this emote, bro. Like, look at his knees, like, bro, what is going on here? This shit is hilarious. This next piece of information is huge. Mike Wang said fades got a buff in the mid-range, so they're going to be better, and a big nerf at the 3. So that has been a big conversation regarding NBA 2K23, the current 2K. Fading is very OP, and a lot of people don't take standstill shots. They just fade because fading is OP, so it's pretty efficient. Why would you not fade? So now fading is taking a huge nerf, not just a small nerf, not just, you know, kind of toning it down. Like, it sounds like it's going to be difficult to fade 3-pointers, while mid-range fades, they got a buff. And I don't necessarily think that mid-range fades needed a buff. I just feel like they're a good shot, but no one's going to take a midi when you could just fade at the 3, because that shit is so OP. Why would you take a midi and get less points? You know what I'm saying? Continuing to talk about the fading, Mike Wang said generally all advanced shot types, spins, step backs got a buff in the mid-range, and all advanced layups, euros, floaters, reverses, hop spins, quick scoops got a buff too. Try to mix up your arsenal of scoring moves and you'll be rewarded. So this is interesting. I definitely think it's a good thing, because now the game's not going to be all, you know, just run in and go for a contact dunk with your dunk beat. It's not going to be kind of like just one thing to do. Now euros might be overpowered, or not overpowered, but at least good. Floaters might be good. Like, this is looking pretty good, bro. There's gonna be a lot of different ways to score this year. We gotta talk about adrenaline boost. I talked about it in my last news video yesterday, but if you guys didn't see that, adrenaline boosts are back. They are confirmed back, but have been redesigned to make both offense and defense more engaging at the same time. On offense, boosts are no longer lost when pulling off dribble combos. So let's say you're running, you know, if you run left or run right, you would lose an adrenaline boost, but this year you don't lose them from running left and right. But instead, this year you lose adrenaline boost by bumping into the defender. So if the defender is very bumpy and they're playing good defense, you're going to lose adrenaline boost. Another interesting fact about adrenaline boost, Mike Wang tweeted, steal and block attempts will consume adrenaline bars on defense, which they did last year, but this is the interesting part. First bar gone equals 20% block and steal rating nerf. 2 bars gone is a 40% nerf, and 3 bars gone is a 75% nerf. So I don't know if it was like this in 2K23, but to be honest, I did not know that. I thought if I lost an adrenaline bar on defense, I would just be kind of like slower. I didn't know that it's actually nerfing my block and steal rating. Like, bro, if you have no bars on defense because you've been spamming and not getting a steal, you will have a 75% nerf to your steal and your block. That is huge. And I didn't know, like, I don't know if it was like that in 23, but at least now we know, bro, going into 24, like, I am not going to be spamming X unless I'm for sure going to get a steal. The next topic is very interesting. We learned some stuff about jump shots, and getting into this next tweet here by Mike Wang, he said variable shot timing has been toned down for 2K24. Also, we changed the shot timing impact shooting attribute to shot timing stability. Higher stability grades will further dampen the effects of fatigue/defense on your shot speed. Now, let's be honest, if you have not seen this or looked into this at all, you are probably confused, because he just used some big words, just a lot of stuff that maybe doesn't make sense. The first part of this that he said, variable shot timing has been toned down. Basically, you guys know how in 2K23 there's a bunch of different shot timings. If your defender is closer to you, your shot it speeds up and you have a faster jump shot. That's why your jump shot is not always the same. You got to adapt based on your situation. I think if you're farther away from the hoop too, your jump shot is faster. So in 2K24, there's not going to be as much of those, you know, different jump shot times. And then also he is saying higher stability grades will further dampen the effects of fatigue/defense on your shot speed. So basically, when you're making your jump shot, you guys know how you have those grades in the bottom right hand corner of the jump shot crater. Well, stability is going to be a grade this year, I believe, and you want that to be as high as possible. Obviously, shot speed matters because you got to get that off fast. But if you have a very high stability grade, that means your shot timing will not change a lot. So you won't get all those different, you know, jump shot speeds. You only have, you know, more of just one speed if you have a higher stability in the jump shot crater. Continuing to talk about the jump shot crater, this is about defensive immunity, which is another grade. This one was in 2K23, as you guys might have remembered. Pure Snow said, what's the differences in shot contest percentage from A+ to F? We don't want to guess. We want to know how effective the grades are. And Mike Wang said A+, basically he's talking about defensive immunity here, will reduce the contest score by 30%, while an F will boost it by 30%. Note, this is subject to change. The jump shot creator, it seems like is going to matter more than ever, especially when you talk about the grades, because obviously, like I said, you want to have a fast jumper, but now you want to have a fast or a high rated stability. You want to get as close to an A+ as you can, but defensive immunity is another one that matters a lot, because if you have a high defensive immunity, contests are going to be kind of non-existent. You saw you get a boost by 30% on contests, but if you have an F, I mean, people barely even got to be near you and you're going to be getting contested. Hey, real quick, this is a little Easter egg in the video. Comment Tangerine if you are still watching this video. Comment Tangerine and sub up, because, I mean, damn, we got a lot of news to still get into here. This is very interesting. Mike Wang said, for both the layup and dunk meters, if you have a pretty open lane, the green window is much bigger in 2K24, but it shrinks fast the heavier the traffic. And again, on Hall of Fame and competitive online, you have to green dunks to make them. This is crucial because personally, I think the dunk meter has been very OP in 2K23, but a lot of people haven't used it because quick drops are so OP. So like, why would you use the dunk meter if you could just quick drop and, you know, get an easy bucket every time? But now Mike Wang is saying the green window is bigger if you're open, which is good because, you know, you shouldn't really miss dunks. You're an NBA player. But if you're contested, the dunk meter green window will be smaller, which I like, bro, because a lot of people, especially if you had a high driving dunk, they were just dunking on anybody, bro. If you knew how to use the dunk meter, like, it was like a dunk any time, bro, regardless of the defense. Mike Wang followed up by putting out this tweet. He said, since no one asked, you can also meter dunk standing dunks in 2K24, but it's really hard to pull off at the moment. Work in progress. So clearly Mike Wang is still putting finishing touches on the game, as we are at what, August 16th right now. We got less than, I would say, 23 days, I believe, until the game comes out. He's still putting on finishing touches, but you can dunk meter standing dunks, which I don't feel like is huge news, but it is something. This next piece of information is a gem. It is very crucial. And Mike Wang said, this is in response to Badger's Plug. You guys can see his tweet, but he said, yes, the green window is pure and will be a guaranteed make if you hit it. So no more RNG. He said, heavily contested shots may still look like full white misses, but that's just an artifact of the art. There will always be a possibility sub-pixel sized green window on every shot. He also said somewhere that 100% smothers, I believe you can't make. I mean, maybe there's a chance, but I think he said you cannot make 100% smothered. But anything else, 99% contested, you can make that. There's going to be a very, very small green window. So that's why sometimes it looks like you just filled up your meter so full, but it comes down to pixels when we're talking about, you know, a decent contest here. So it might look like you got a full bar, but it's a very small, like he said, a sub-pixel sized green window on some of these shot attempts. Now we got a piece of news that I love to see this, because this is something that I'm always looking for when we talk about a new 2K. Mike Wang said, for those asking what rating you need to be consistent, depends on your skill and shot IQ. Some will be deadly with a 75 3-point, while others will go 1 for 10. This is crucial because this adds a skill gap. And if you guys like 2K, if you guys like video games, you should want a skill gap in the games that you are going to play. And also, you shouldn't need an 85 plus 3-point to consistently make them. Like, if you're good at the game, bro, you should be able to knock down 75 3-points if you can time a jumper consistently perfect every time, bro. That is skill. That is skill. So 75 3-point should be pretty consistent this year. But if you're not good at the game, that's not going to be good for you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll go back to a type of game where if you're bad at the game, you probably want to be a stretch or maybe a sharpshooter. This is great news right here. Mike Wang said, yes, you'll get your shot celebration animation on every made green outside of 15 feet. If you guys played 2K23, you guys know, bro. You get your green animation on jump shots like 1 out of every 10 shots. It makes no sense, and it just feels good when you get a green jump shot animation, celebration, whatever you want to call it, after you make a shot, bro. It just feels good, and it is confirmed in 2K24 you will get that every single time if your shot is beyond 15 feet, which is just somewhere in the midi. Continuing to kind of talk about jump shots and stuff like that, Mike Wang said your opponents and teammates won't see your shot meter online in NBA 2K24, but my advice is to turn off the shot meter as soon as you learn your timing. Shot meter off increases your green window by 20%. So that is interesting, because now your teammates, your opponents, no one is going to know how you're timing your shots. So for all you know, your teammate could be saying he's literally timing his shit perfect and the game is just not letting it go, but he could be really just mistiming it. Like, we're not going to be able to see our teammate meter, so we're going to have to go off their word this year, which is, I mean, that's going to be interesting. He also said shot meter off is going to be crucial as it increases your green window by 20%, bro. So if you're listening to this video right now, I talk about it every year in my jump shot videos. We haven't really known the exact percentage, but bro, 20% is huge of an increase to your green window. So definitely turn off your shot meter, bro, and just get that shot timing down. I'm going to be mentioning that in my jump shot video on day 1 or 2 whenever I upload my jump shot video. But bro, 20%. You got to turn off your shot meter. Someone named Buckets asked Mike Wang, can we see the greens right away this year? Please, everyone wants to know. Mike Wang said, greens are still delayed because I like it that way. Smiley face. I don't know how I feel about this, because if greens pop up right away and you see someone shoot and they, you know, it's not green, then you can run and cherry pick. You can have a little strategy into that. Whereas in real life, you're not going to know if it's going in until it hits the rim. I personally would rather see the green right away, but greens are still delayed because he likes that way. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I don't know. I guess it's just something we'll have to deal with. OJ said, is it green only or can you make whites again? And Mike Wang said, whites will not go in on Hall of Fame, Rec, or Park. And just so you guys know, the stage, I believe, is Hall of Fame difficulty. He did not list the stage there. I believe Pro-Am is as well. So in pretty much every game mode, whites will not be going in, which is a huge W. However, in 2K23, the occasional white would fall in, like 1 out of like 100 whites, or maybe more. 1 out of, you know, 500 whites would go in. So I don't know if that's going to be the case still, but whites will not go in 2K24. I think that's a W, because again, that adds a skill gap. Mike said ball saves are solid. I thought they were good in 2K23 too. Blocks got a buff in 2K24, but not to 2K22 level. If you guys remember when 2K22 came out, blocks were just insane. Like, so I mean, at least it's not like going to be at that level, but I do think, you know, chase downs, especially if you guys played 2K23, I rarely got chase downs. Like, they were tough. So I'm actually glad that blocks got a buff, because I love seeing paint defense be good and just accurate and just make sense, you know, because last year, well, not even last year, this year in 2K23, like, blocks were really not that crazy, especially chase downs, like I said. Mike continued to say paint defense was a major focus and was reported as the biggest gameplay improvement from our external playtest sessions. I think we have a really good balance right now. So again, I think that's just great news to hear, but obviously I'm gonna have to see it, because obviously they're gonna say, yeah, we improved our defense, our shooting, we improved our dribbling. Like, bro, they're gonna say that every year. They're marketing the game. They're not gonna be like, oh, well, we made our paint defense worse. This, like, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say that. So we're gonna have to see it, but I do believe them, and I hope blocks are more prominent in 2K24. Mike said the contest system changed a lot. The main highlights, greater emphasis on body position instead of just hand location. Big reason for the ghost contest complaints last year. Heavier penalties for being crowded at the start of the shot, less for out of position late closeout. So again, this sounds great. An improved contest system, I'm all for it. Next up, we have a tweet from Wolf, who used to be in the 2K League, but he is now a gameplay developer for 2K, and he said, perimeter defense 2K24, more responsive control and body ups, less sliding, and right stick steals are back. More on this in the future. The key thing that I'm taking away from this is less sliding, bro. On defense, that's one of the biggest complaints every year. That's one of the biggest things that matters. Like, bro, in 2K21 current gen, oh my god, I mean, if you play that game, you already know what I'm talking about. The sliding was at an all-time level. It was literally like we were playing on an ice rink on defense. It was almost impossible to play defense, and now we have less sliding, which is perfect. I didn't think it was too bad in 2K23, but of course, it is always good to have less sliding on defense, because realistically, we are not wearing ice skates. We are not wearing rollerblades. We are wearing sneakers, and we should, you know, feel like we're actually playing basketball. Something interesting Mike Wang tweeted is that offensive players out of bounds has been added to the Griffin rules. Players who do it will grade out. I played a lot of rec this year. There's a lot of different season quests and stuff like that, and if your teammate did not get the ball enough, or sometimes they were just being, you know, I don't want to say certain words because I don't want to get demonetized, but, you know, a bad person, you know, if they're being a bad person, they would just start standing out of bounds, and your team would get turnovers because that is offensive player out of bounds. You can't do that. Your team just turns the ball over. Now that's against Griffin rules, and players who do it will get graded out. So that's great news. Mike said there are lots of new controller settings this year. Separate toggles for shots, layups, free throws, as well as control type, pro stick, button. You can also reposition and resize just about every on-screen element: shot meter, player, indicator, fatigue bar, etc. I'm not gonna lie, the first part of this tweet kind of sounds like he's saying a whole lot of nonsense. I'm sure it's good news, but I don't really know how to take it. The last part of this tweet is interesting. You can reposition and resize stuff like your shot meter, player indicator, and fatigue bar. So that's actually crazy, bro. I feel like a lot of people just kind of, you know, skimmed over this, but so you're gonna be able to make your shot meter bigger if you want it. So maybe, you know, if you're a little old head, you're a little blind, or, you know, your vision's going, you could turn your shot meter up, make it bigger so you can see it more. Or if, you know, you don't want that because it's kind of in the way, you can make it smaller. And also the fatigue bar too, that's another interesting one. You can make that smaller if you want, or if you want that massive, you can make that bigger. I'm sure that's gonna be a little interesting thing. A lot of people love to copy stage players, so there's probably going to be like a top stage player that makes it a certain size, and then everyone's just going to kind of copy him. And to kind of wrap everything up, again, if you guys follow me on Twitter at YT_Soul, or you just follow Mike Wang, you probably saw a lot about this, but it's going to be very interesting when it comes to animations. Jump shots are going to be crazy because now with Pro Play, if you guys didn't see my last video, Pro Play basically tracks the exact NBA player movement so that you don't have to put on a mocap suit and like fake the animations. Now they can take them from real life games. Jump shots are going to be a lot better. They're going to be exactly like the NBA player's actual jump shot. And dribble moves, now there's going to be so many more players dribble moves because they can just take them from real life NBA games. Dribbling is going to be insane this year, I would assume, at least when it comes to the animations. There's going to be a lot of different animations to choose from. And if y'all made it to the end of the video, we got a gem. Mike Wang just tweeted this when I'm recording this video at 2 a.m. So if he continues tweeting, I don't know what to do. Like, why is he still up, bro? It's 2 a.m. He tweeted that he really likes Steph and Trey's moves, so he usually goes with a 92 speed with ball or ball handle. The highest unlock is Steve Francis's sig size up at 95. I assume he's talking about ball handle here, and that is crazy, bro, because Steve Francis had the best sig size up in 2K23. If you guys play this game for small guards, now you need a 95 ball handle. So that's a W, bro. Make the really good animations at high attributes, bro, because for example, none of the good players had a high speed of ball this year because all you needed, I believe, was a 75 speed of ball so you could get the MJ dribble style, which is the best in the game. I'm loving what I'm seeing, bro. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and go check out my last video, bro. I'll put a link in the description. NBA 2K23 gameplay was finally revealed in my last video, so make sure to check it out if you guys have. Of course, sub up if y'all are new. We're on the road to 700K, and click one of the videos on the screen, man. You know, we got some good videos popping up right here. Go ahead, click them.